Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Eargasms, an audiobook review show where we delve into the world of contemporary and indie romance, books that make you go, Please note that all the books that I review contain adult content, so you have been warned. And with that said, here we go. When Olive Taylor's older brother Dylan brings the new neighbor home, that is it. Olive's heart is signed, sealed, delivered. So obviously there's only one thing left for her to do, right? To ask him to marry her. The only thing is, Olive is only 8 years old. Not that the 4-year age gap bothers her in any stretch of the imagination. No way. It even makes her more determined. So she asks him, "Will you marry me?" Olive is convinced she has found her soulmate. As long as it takes, Olive is going to make Jason Thorn hers. 7 years later and a lot of sleepovers, Jason is practically now one of the family. His parents are not winning any Parent of the Year awards, with a drunkard mother and a workaholic father. Jason finds himself always at the Taylor's residence. Jason has become more like a family member than a neighbor or Dylan's best friend. Tragedy strikes the Thorn household, leading Jason's father to uproot them from San Francisco to LA. And as we know, once there's a move, life gets in the way. Although we promise that we're going to keep in touch, it all falls by the wayside. So now what is poor Olive going to do now that her soulmate is no longer sleeping in the room opposite hers? Another 8 years goes by and Jason is now Brad Pitt, Hollywood famous. But you know the Brad Pitt before the Legend of the Falls Brad Pitt, that when he was banging every woman into the mattress before his United Colors of Benetton kids? That Brad Pitt. Jason is determined to shag his way through Hollywood. Caught having it off in an alleyway once again, Jason's reputation is hanging by a thread. All his risky actions have actually cost him, as he can lose his career that he has worked so hard for. His agent knows that something has to be done. As for Olive, she is having a E.L. James 50 Shades of Grey moment. Whilst at college, she decides to pen her first book, Soul Ache. Can we guess who the inspiration for Soul Ache was? Soul Ache is such a runaway success, it's being brought to the big screen. Going to the casting meeting, guess who the studio want to play leading character of Isaac? Oh, you're doing well. Once again, they are reunited in this meeting. Jason signs on without even reading the script because it's Olive. So how is it that we find the protagonists about to walk down the aisle? Written by Washington Post best-selling author Ella MAISE, this book is fantastic. You are in for a treat. I love the way that Ella writes. It's very light, but it has feeling towards it. You get to know the characters. She adds little details as well that enriches the world, that enriches the characters. Like there's a scar that runs from Olive's mum's wrist to her shoulder, and she mentions that, so you understand that something happened to her mum, but it's not that important, but it just makes you form the character, why the mum is so caring. Ella MAISE is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's just not fair. How can she write so beautifully and also have a beautiful face? I mean, all the little layers upon layers that she adds to the world just absolutely makes you bond with all the characters. And also, this was released back early stages of when audio was becoming a lot more popular when this book was released. But it's such a great job. She casted the right voice actors to do this, and they are voice actors and not narrators. I mean, back then, there were some right stinkers of audiobooks. Twilight, shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's like if the film was made and they just didn't think twice about the audio. Authors now are understanding the aspect of book writing, having a great audiobook, because people are really tuned into it. So she got it right at the beginning. A lot of authors are now having to go back and re-record their audios because they didn't really put in the work, and some of it is absolutely shocking. Narrated by Sebastian York and Lydia Dornay. Lydia Dornay is really great. She has a really nice whimsical voice, and she always feels really happy. It's very clear, it's musical, and it's a really nice tone. She's very good at differentiation, so when she does children's voices or male voices, although it's not as deep, she still gets the tones and the rhythms really right. I really enjoy her voice. She has got a little bit of a speech impediment. It's really, really tiny, but it adds to the character. It's not quite a lisp, but or sibilance, but she does have. But I think it's really cute. It adds character to the roles that she's portraying. Now, Sebastian York, yeah. I've spoken about his beautiful voice ad nauseum. I know. But every character that Sebastian York plays, he brings another tiny little element to it. That's why I like him as a voice actor. He doesn't just play everybody the same way. Big kahunas in romance world. And I will, as you know, I will one-click anything that man is in, because I know that I'm going to get my money's worth, and I know that I'm going to get a really great performance. Both of them brought the lightheartedness character of Olive and strong but caring and protective nature of Jason. So the sex scenes, woo! Oh my gosh. Now, I think one of them actually lasts about 15 minutes. It's this nice slow build up. This is kind of like a slow burn. It's not an insta love. It is a slow burn because Olive falls in love with him at 8 years old. But when it comes to the sex scenes, this is sexy AF. Oh my God. But I tell you what, throwing gang signs. It's just so well written, and it's not like vulgar. It's perfect, and you get quite a few of them, and they're not all the same. She does mix it up a little, so it's really enjoyable to listen to. The book is absolutely a beautiful piece. I mean, I love that they had secondary characters that were quite integral to the story as well, like lovable Lucy, who is Olive's best friend. She is throughout, but you know, we get to know so much more about her, and you know, the flatmates and Olive's parents and her brother. Ella did a great job of actually packing in a lot of character traits, so we actually knew these people, that we cared about these people. After the stinker of a book that I listened to last week, I couldn't wash the stink off me quick enough. But this is a great book. My opinion, this is a great book to get you out of a book funk. If you listen to a book that is Pepe Le Pew stinky, this book can get you out of book funk. So there is a second book as well. That is To Hate Adam Connor, and that is Lucy's story. Lucy is a great character. You will fall in love with her. She's just zany. I actually listened to that and is amazing. I actually preferred that one. They can both be read as standalones or listened to as standalones. For the cover, it has had an update. It used to be this, and now this is the new cover. I prefer the old one because, I don't know, I kind of bonded with it. I think a lot more authors are going for this look, but it's what's inside really, isn't it? And now for my ratings. For the narration, that is a 4.5 for both of them. Great job. Their voices suit each other's really, really well, and they both stellar performances. The sex scenes, this is a steamy 4. Yeah, if you're not really into the sex scenes, it's not crass. It's really beautifully written. It's very romantically written, you know, but she's still good in it. Now for the overall book, it is a 4.5 read for me. I enjoyed it so much, and I literally finished that one and moved straight onto To Hate Adam Connor, which is Lucy's story. Which is also amazing. If you've enjoyed this one, I'm going to say you're going to love the second one. I loved this book, but once I read the second book, it's just complete. I would advise that you listen to this one first, because they obviously come back in the second book, just so that, but you'll enjoy them both. Okay, so that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Please leave a comment if you have read it. If there's any books that you would like me to review, please leave a comment and I shall do so. Okay, so I will see you guys soon, and take care.